Last week, our two teams were challenged to create a business strategy for two young entrepreneurs with business ideas. The blue chip, Lebohang, had the opportunity to handpick their startup business and got off to a flying start. Mfundo from the green team and Macy from the orange team both came up for review. But Ezra felt that both teams delivered excellent results, so none of the contestants were sent home. Meanwhile, Abongile shone in the challenge and the judges named him the blue chip. He goes into the challenge this week with a confidence boost and a smartphone. 8 of the remaining entrepreneurs are one step closer to the incredible grand prize, a 5 million rand investment into their business. Each of them has proven themselves. Each has had their moment of brilliance, but only one of them can be a winner. Only one can have a shot at the big break.
Business ideas and opportunities are everywhere, but it takes a certain kind of person to spot them. It takes an entrepreneur, someone who can recognize an opportunity and turn it into a successful business. South Africa needs world-class entrepreneurs. The Big Break Legacy is going to find one. From thousands of hopefuls, 12 of the country's finest entrepreneurs made it through. From all walks of life, from all parts of the country, all with one thing in common: the drive and ambition to convince our 4 board members that they should be the winner of the 5 million rand investment prize. The Big Break Legacy.
Business isn't just about balance sheets and budgets. At its heart, a good business is a community, one where each person has their part to play. This week, our entrepreneurs are about to find out just how important community is in one way or another. I'm Masachaba Lekalake. Welcome to the Big Break Legacy. A new week brings a new task that will be presented by the board. This week, Ellis has excused himself due to a business commitment.
Social entrepreneurs play a significant role in communities and in society. These are entrepreneurs with a conscience of purposefully empowering and developing communities. You guys are expected to be social entrepreneurs in this challenge. Your location is going to be in Alexandra, and it's expected of you to work with a community-based organization. You will have to identify a need and assist the community to meet that need. By the time you leave that community, I want them to be able to see the difference that you have made. You'll be judged on 4 criteria. 1, identifying the need. So honing on a specific need. I don't want you here, there, and everywhere and nowhere. 2, it's coming up with a plan to meet that need. So the plan must be convincing. I expect of you to work with community-based skills and talent so that you empower the people around there and we leave a lasting legacy. And finally, you can actually raise as many resources as you wish, not limited to funding. So in the resources that you have that would assist you to meet this challenge, you've got 4,000 rands, which you can use. You've got the Chevrolet utility vehicle. You've got an hour to go and scout, come back, prepare your plans for presentation to the board. Okay, guys, I'm going to call upon Dr. Werner Barkhuizen to come and talk to you guys with regards to where you're at mentally right now.
Guys, I've observed you for 6 episodes now, and I want you to understand yourselves better. Specifically, Macy, and I'll single out some individuals where I know there's an opportunity for development. In your case, you must understand that you must always take feedback from other individuals. In fact, you must encourage that and embrace it. When people say things about you, it's to make you a better person, to help you to grow and improve as an individual. I want you guys to start looking inside yourselves, all of you. Mfundo, you have the greatest potential as an entrepreneur. I want to see you step up to the plate.
Okay, time to go get your hands dirty, guys.
On the doorstep to Sandton's business district lies Alexandra. Driving to the center, our teams soon see the importance of social entrepreneurship in communities like this. Before exploring the facility, the teams meet Ma Beauty, who runs the center.
Tusonke Center e thomile ka 1979. That was the International Year of the Child. Per day, ha o ka tla mo ka nako ya bo 2:30, o tlo kry about 300 kids ba tlo ja.
Ma Beauty takes our entrepreneurs on a tour of the center. The first stop is the hall. Most of the activities that take place here have to fight for a space. It seems a few of the members show interest in this versatile space, but they still have to see all the other facilities Tusong Center has to offer.
Thank you so much, Mama.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Ma Beauty leads them to a room that is very special to her.
The psychological library, where we call it this, in the afternoon, there's a teacher o tla trainer, whatever toys, puzzles, and if you look from ko high una le anger, to kono identify because kids are counseling and rehabilitation as well.
There's a big pile of water there. So
Yeah, it's leaking. It's leaking. One day the roof is gonna fall on top of the kids.
As they walk around, Ma Beauty tells the team that many legends and celebrities, such as politician Paul Mashatile, have attended Tusong.
Manje ma into fuwe check, I mean, of the many activities that you run, you have never thought mhlawumbe nibe wing edila nokuthi you commercialize some of the things like this interesting stuff I'm seeing here. Yes.
My students were supposed to be 20 in here, but they can't.
Outside, a group of paroles from the Randburg court are busy planting vegetable gardens. This immediately sparks a keen interest with Sean.
these are big.
Personalities clash when teams need to choose what task to tackle.
Okay, if we don't try and center anything just yet and just try to articulate particularly what the challenges are so that we can really understand the opportunities. The team being the same as the previous week was a bit of a challenge. The argument is always you're only as good as the people you work with.
What's the biggest impact we're going to have on this entire facility? The library is a one-time thing. Without the roof, the library is flooded.
Something like the library, which is media-oriented, you can fit in something like creating a documentary, you can create you can maybe create an associated website that educates funders about the
I honestly feel the gardening, yes, it is my forte, but I don't want to...
Because you're very strong in that, and I think that would be great to rely on. When the garden was chosen, I knew that it linked to one of the strengths of the team members.
Remember, there's 5 options. Relatively, I think this is perhaps the best one.
And I felt when the other 2 team members were already saying we can go this way, then we could count on their support in actually ensuring that this outcome would be achieved.
A million little NGOs plant veggie gardens. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's nothing special that we can show as a group. The unique thing about this place is its story and its place in the community and the achievements that it's had over the years.
As the blue chip, Abongile and the green team decide to take on the garden as their project, and the orange team happily tackle the library. Both will take a lot of work. The teams will have to put their heads together and come up with a solid strategy for their respective projects. Ezra and the board will take no mercy in pulling their ideas apart if they do not meet with the objectives for this week's task.
I think the first and most important thing right now is that we need to go to that presentation, so we may as well clarify exactly those 4 components that we're supposed to report back on.
The need is fresh vegetables.
Fresh vegetables.
Yes.
We can do something physically with the library, but that's just the start of it.
One way we can do that, we spoke about the testimonials from these people.
It's only an hour to go before each team needs to present their ideas to Ezra and the board. They need to keep focused on the objectives of the task, to identify a need within the organization, address that need, engage the community in carrying out the task, raise resources, create sustainability, and create visible change. The lights signal that their time is up. The board members will be eager to hear what the teams have come up with. The green team is up first.
You know what the challenge is? Let's hear how you plan to meet it.
Ezra and the board, as part of an intervention at Tusong Community Center, we identify the need as a provision of fresh vegetables for the center to actually for us to sustain its source of income whilst actually ensuring that it serves the needs of its community. Our plan is to ensure that we provide skills development to the community, mainly to the unemployed members of the community in terms of innovative methods of fresh produce. Local talent and skills utilization, we aim to actually train local communities whilst we're also going to be involving them practically in the execution of the actual project.
How different is this from just cleaning a patch of soil and planting some seeds to get some vegetables? Paul?
It's three things. Firstly, to get those fresh vegetables grown to supply Toussaint's kitchen. Secondly, is to develop entrepreneurs around this gardening concept so that they can also start providing produce for themselves. But thirdly, that's the bigger aim, which is to provide a market ecosystem around these vegetables.
All of that, what you've just said now, is long term. Guys, it's not enough. Go apply yourselves. It's not enough. I'm disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm also disappointed in the sense that what they've done is ordinary and it's not really sort of thinking laterally and being different.
The green team will have to go back to the drawing board and come up with something fresh. Next up, it's the orange team.
The amazing stories about Toussaint Youth Centre is that it has produced great legends in South Africa, and including great politicians and famous actors. So our plan, therefore, is to inspire the next generation of these children and the funders, making sure that we attract them through these stories. So we're going to use the library as well so that we redesign it and make it more attractive and fun.
Who are these legends? Give me an example.
Okay, the politicians such as Bo Obed Mapela, they were there. Bo Paul Mashatile.
What do you mean they were there?
Oh, they are products of the Toussaint.
Okay, Youth Centre.
According to Mama, yes.
There's two streams to our work. So they both revolve around this theme of tomorrow's legends. The one is the library itself, so making sure that we've got the right activities, resources, etc. in there to groom the next generation. And then there's a separate stream which revolves around the same theme, which is about making her marketing message much more powerful.
Sounds like an interesting task, guys, an interesting plan. Really is, I mean, as they say, you know, proof is in there.
Pudding.
I like that. Actually like that. I think that was absolutely, for me, a breath of fresh air.
After a great presentation, the orange team can now focus on delegating tasks so there are no hiccups tomorrow.
And then you'll come up with creative ways.
With guidance from the advisory board, the green team identify how to make their task more innovative. Tomorrow morning, it's all systems go. Shortly after sunrise, the teams arrive in Alexandra to begin their tasks. They have 2 days to complete their chosen projects. The clock is ticking and time is not on their side. Will our entrepreneurs be able to perform under pressure and deliver on the outcomes they presented? The orange team immediately run into problems.
Locked, eh? Still early.
After a late night in the think tank, the green team kept the idea of creating a hanging vegetable garden, but added a chicken coop for appeal. A lot needs to be organized.
Yeah. Okay. We've got to first of all source the shade netting. Hopefully get it for free at people that do shade nettings. So I think we should just walk around here and see what there is. It's pretty jungle-ish out there. You guys ready to get dirty?
As the green team set out to explore, the orange team finally get into the library. Lebo and Macy start making calls for assistance.
Now, this is like a psychological library for children. What I need is a bit of toys.
So we'll remove Alex and
Venus' pep talk had a lot to do with Macy's turnaround. I mean, from the minute she had the talk with Macy, Macy was a different person. And you know what? She was very effective.
Babang bato paint, if we're not maybe donate like toys or books or whatever.
Okay.
Sure then.
Okay, Brady.
First, the green team needs to find a suitable wall on which to build their hanging garden.
You want to clear this out today?
Can we be realistic, guys? This is not a day's job, guys.
This is like a 4-week job.
This is not possible.
In the front, eh? Somewhere in front.
Right there around the corner is pretty much a jungle.
There's this wall.
From where?
And there's that wall on the
From
inside.
where?
Well, obviously, we start from that side and we work our way across, which depends on how many hours it takes. And then the other wall, which is a good wall, this wall. So the benefits of that wall is that there's a tap right there. There's no tap right here.
Lebo is already starting to engage the Alexandra community. He calls his friend Biake, who is a businessman in the area.
Sam, this is Biake, we don't know people from around here.
Yeah.
At least he can tell us who does what, who does what, who does what.
As well as
Sebenzile briefs one of the center's in-house production team members on what footage is needed from the two-song legends.
So it's like a minute type of interview.
Meanwhile, at the back of the center, Abongile has spotted the perfect place for the green team to work.
This has got the sunlight, and also the space is currently unused, just growing weed. You have a visual difference here.
When it came to the actual task execution, we actually tend to differ more.
Now you've got a stump there that chicken can jump over the fence with. You've got to move this car out. It's all quite a mission here.
Tempers flare between Sean and Abongile as they clash over where to put the hanging garden.
This is the best wall to use.
For sunlight.
Yes. And what do you grow plants in? Shade or sunlight?
Look, we're getting ourselves some kind of paralysis. We've got 3 areas, we've got 3 ideas. We want a hanging garden, we want beds that actually showcase learning, and we want a chicken coop that can also be used for manure and other benefits.
On camera, it appears to be Abongile versus the rest of us. I think that Abongile has a real need to make sure that we're going somewhere, but sometimes I feel the intervention is unnecessary because we're already going there. It's like someone asking, are you sure you're going to Cape Town, but you're already on the way to Cape Town.
If it's before and then you're looking at one spot and how well you've changed it with one impact, or we've got little befores and a couple of afters. Maybe the impact might not be the same, I'm not sure.
This is a huge before will be a huge hanging garden here.
Sean had his head filled with his expertise, and 2 of my team members going behind it without questioning it. So I generally just seemed like the cold duck or the black sheep or the guy out in the cold.
The orange team seemed to be a far more well-oiled machine.
So my side is the marketing strategy. Then Seb's, your stuff's around the documentary. Lebo and Macy, you're our primary fundraising team to actually get the money we need to do the things we're doing in the next 24 hours.
After a tense start to the morning, with little progress, the green team finally seemed to be on track.
Hi, good morning. Who am I speaking to?
It's going to sound a little weird, but just hear me out.
No, I'd like to speak to Sean then.
Okay.
But the calm doesn't last long.
You back that statement up by getting a quote. Can I just ask you guys to get your computers out and please help us all research here because
there's a lot that we're doing outside. It's not everybody who's supposed to be sitting on the computer. This is a practical task.
Mfundo and Abongile get stuck in. They'll have to clear the entire area before any structures can be erected. But why are they not involving the community as the brief clearly requires? Down the road, Lebo is still working his magic.
David, my accountant, works with him. I called him, I said, this is the story. He said, okay, come through. I spoke with him less than a minute, and then he wanted to write a check. I said, hey, but we don't have time for check because your check is not transferable. I need money. He opens a big bag and it's full of money. He counts and then he gives us 5 grand. He says, hey, if you told me early, I'd have organized more.
The green team have decided not to raise any monetary donations. So Sean has to carefully plan for the material needed to erect the hanging garden, chicken coop, and vegetable beds. Calculations must be precise. Leaves and debris are removed from the gutters and pipes to prevent leaking in the library. With help from Macy and Sebenzile, the Tusong media team interview the legends.
Well, this is not a cave.
Yeah, but
okay, just like Wabu Anje.
Yeah,
who you are.
Hi, my name is Tammy.
Lebo heads across town. This time, it's for furniture to add life to the dull library.
Hey, Percy, how are you?
How are you?
Lekker.
Yes, man, lovely.
Otherwise, I'm here to ask for a big favor. As big as me.
Let's go upstairs.
Please. The room is dull. It's an ordinary township library.
Okay.
It's about 70 square meters or so.
Lebo and a representative return to Tusong to assess the space.
How? Go in. Hey, spend this shy.
Is it hectic?
No, it's hectic. It's easy. That's why we're actually sweating.
And then 20 of those.
As Sean steps out, he receives some great news about the chickens he's sourcing for the coup.
Veronica from the chickens has said she's got second-grade chickens, so she'll give us for free.
One objective Graham and his team are nailing is that of community involvement. Many hands make light work.
We're requested to bring the best tools that we have, which are hands.
And to add to the progress, Macy has stepped up to the plate and shares some great news.
Yeah, everything is coming into shape.
Cool, for us.
We have a deposit of 5,000 rand already.
Wow, so it seems like various things are starting to fit
Shake it
together.
up, eh?
So we got to just keep pushing and make it happen.
Lebo arrives back at the library with Anna from the furnishers. He introduces her to the team and expands on his vision for the space.
This one, I want it to be a special room because we're going to put a plasma in here.
Finishing his calculations, Sean heads out to find supplies. Together with Mfundo, they hit the streets and, bearing their limited budget in mind, they picked up wood offcuts from a local depot.
So basically what we're going to use these for is to put them like against the wall. We're going to nail it and then have the green stuff like this. How much is a sheet like this?
Oh, these guys have got the grinder. They'll use the grinder to cut it.
What I do need is a drill bit for cement.
Once Sean had completed his job of choosing all the goods they needed, it was Mfundo's turn to negotiate a discount with the store's owner.
88.50. Okay, just talk to you then. Okay, guys, we've managed to secure 30% of this order, yeah.
In the orange room, Lebo repeated his 5 magic words.
I need a big favor. You know the clocks that you have? You don't have clocks. I'm arranging a clock so that the kids must know time.
Time was a luxury that our teams have very little of. Outside, the green team has cleared their piece of ground, but were deadlocked as to what needed to happen next. Sean seemed to be the only person who knew the plan, but was there a flaw in his communication skills?
What I would like you guys to do so long is just to dig some holes for the 2 poles. So dig them about 30 centimeters deep.
Okay.
Like a square.
In line with the objective of sustainability, Graham has developed a unique strategy to use social networks like Facebook to enhance Tusong's visibility and attract potential sponsors. Graham shares his ideas with Herbert Mashishi, who works in the funding department at Tusong.
So one of the concepts we've got to try and address that is to say, let's set up a Tusong community online.
Macy has brought 2 members of her work crew to a hardware store to purchase paint, rollers, and brushes. At the till, she's thrilled to be met with kindness and charity.
500 rand. No, ma'am, it's fine. Any form of donation is welcome.
Lebo meets a wealthy businessman from the East Rand, Richard Mugafe.
We want to put a plasma in the library for kids to watch educational DVDs and all of that. I said, Mr. Mugafe, can you help me out? He said, no, come through. It's a done deal, eh? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very much, Lebo.
Okay.
All the best for the children, eh?
Lebo just seems to have a magic touch wherever he goes. It seems that the members of the Green Team are all working in isolation and not as a cohesive unit. They're confused as to what needs to be done.
I'm concerned about the design. We do all this work now, and then Sean had a different idea on how to do it.
When Sean arrives back at Tusong, he finds out that none of the building has begun.
Because I wanted instructions on how to build the thing.
As long as...
I don't know, I don't see any progress since I left. Looks like you need to give someone full instructions, which is totally understandable. Or not.
While Abongile takes a breather, Paul calls Sean aside for a chat.
Dude, I just don't think it's fair that you keep saying it. We just cleaned up the area. Literally, we only had a 30-minute break.
I don't understand. I did ask you guys to make the holes. Like,
No,
I
I didn't hear that instruction.
Okay. I actually asked Abongile and Mufundu if they could go out and get some volunteers because they can speak a vernacular language where I can't. And it's better for them to go out because they can get people in.
Abongile finds the help he needs right outside Tusong's gates. Casual laborers are more than happy to assist for some rands in their pockets. Finally, things get underway for the Green Team. The team decides to move the hanging garden to where they're currently working. Abongile argues this was his idea from the start.
I said, let's go this way, and now look, this is where we're going. In the morning, I said, why don't we concentrate the thing in this area?
No, you didn't say anything about concentrate.
Agreed, guys. Let's actually change the plan.
The fact of the matter that you're trying to say that it's all your idea, it wasn't. You also said, why don't we use this wall? And my understanding that I explained to you guys was because that wall's got no sun.
But I don't care whose idea it was. What do we need to do?
With part of the 5,000 rand she secured earlier today, Macy purchases educational toys for the classroom. Paul has escaped the tension of his team and is picking up plants and seedlings from a nursery across town.
As the kids walk past the vegetable gardens, they learn about it. But now AJ's company has saved us the trouble of creating those cards. So, yeah, these are them.
It's just after 2 p.m. and over 300 children have crammed into Tusong for their daily feeding program and activities. Macy manages to unpack some of the toys before getting a special visit.
Hello. Ninjani? Come and see. I just want to show them around.
The short visit affirms that the Orange team is on track with creating a sustainable difference in the lives of the children this center serves. The team only has 1 hour before the workers knock off. There's still a lot to do. They cannot afford any mistakes at this stage in the game.
Nothing like a hard day's work.
Abongile has decided to refurbish old car seats for people to sit on. Will this jeopardize his team as he veers away from the original plan? He even asks someone on Tusong's sewing team to make him seat covers for his new project.
What you guys can do now is to make holes so that when we get the poles, the holes are dug and we don't have to actually figure out.
How many holes?
Just 2 holes. Boom, boom. And we get like we have to find 2 poles tomorrow and a bee.
There goes the hanging garden. This is a major setback for the Green Team. But can Sean pull the team together to fix the situation?
All right, well, let's not look, let's just work. Okay, now I think I need you guys to help with this thing.
Let's go.
That's a total mess.
I asked him earlier whether it was going to be too heavy, and he said it wasn't, but obviously it was too heavy.
It really is feeling the load, I can see that.
It's been a long day, and the Orange team can be proud of their achievements. Tomorrow, all the furniture arrives, along with a brand new plasma TV and even more books and toys. Today, they showed true entrepreneurial spirit and took steps towards achieving all of their task objectives. Each member executed their role to perfection. The Green Team managed to get the hanging garden back on the wall. Tomorrow, they'll have to work on their communication and teamwork if they have any hope of completing their task. Today is D-Day. The final day of the challenge, and our teams awake to a gloomy and wet Johannesburg. They only have one morning to get their ideas ready for inspection. The weather will definitely have an effect on the green team's progress, but will it dampen their spirits even further after a difficult day before?
So it's raining, which kind of throws a spanner into our wheels. We wanted to get started already, but it's raining. But I've been told that this rain is temporary, so I'm very hopeful of that.
As the orange team arrive at the library, they find out a new leak has developed on the opposite end of the room.
We focused on that other leak, and then this one, when the guys checked, they didn't see the leak. It's good that it rained. At least we're going to detect this leak now. It will be sorted out once the rain stops.
The orange team decided last night that they need couches in Lebo's special area, just to give it a finishing touch. Macy has done a brilliant job at controlling the team's budget and gives Lebo some cash to go find what he needs.
Doesn't exceed.
Outside, the green team can see visible damage from the rain, but there's nothing they can do about this now. They have to focus on erecting the coop by the time Sean arrives back at Tusong with the baby chicks.
We need a cable ties.
Are you Payana Ekwan? Yeah. Things we're trying to fix at the bottom.
Shono is out, getting the chickens for this particular area. Then also expecting him to get the crates for us to be able to complete this whole garden setup. Vundo is out to get the paints and material to cover all of this stuff so that we can hopefully have a finished, polished looking kind of thing.
What's the first thing you decided to do when you saw this library?
We wanted to make sure that we upgrade this library, make it, more powerful so that when the kids, it looks fun and attractive, so that when these kids come in, they get excited.
What's been amazing is we had this concept of just uplifting this small part of the overall institution, and it's just been amazing how generous people have been, especially local people, with their time, with materials, with money.
It's an hour before the final presentation, and Sean arrives with some precious cargo.
I think I'm more happy to see that that's
They're still on the wall, yeah?
You guys want to quickly have a look and see what chicks we have? So you can see the babies are all in there. So that's 25. Okay?
Nice.
Yeah, they're very cute. I mean, look at them.
Yeah.
So cute, man. Hello.
Smiles on the green team only last a few moments. With Sean and Abongile in the same space, it's a matter of time before tension erupts.
Do you really think we have time to...
Well, here things are actually happening and we're moving next. That's already getting started. The only thing that hasn't moved is those tires.
Okay, so help me with the tires. There's a knife. Help me cut out the tires.
No, do that because I'm finishing this.
Okay, so enjoy.
All right.
What just happened there with you and Abongile?
No, nothing. I just, I found that I must do all the work and he just sits around and commands.
Confrontation isn't something I fear, it is something I need, it's something I crave. But I just believe confrontation is simply constructive when you come across with a clear idea about why.
Abongile, what you up to?
Roofing for the chickens.
Roofing for the chickens. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're going to make 2 of those logs.
This is the second one, buddy.
That's the second one. So
That's
where's
right.
the first one cut?
It's already in there, bud.
It's already in there. Okay,
That's
cool.
correct.
Sean is a great guy. He's a great guy. Leadership skills, none.
First of all, I don't appreciate you not communicating with me. I was out on the road, you didn't tell me, first of all, I was here the whole time. You didn't say you were going to do the seats, okay? The second thing is with the wall and the painting. It's wet. Why can't you just think it's wet, it's going to rain, it's not going to dry fast enough? Like this, you just went ahead and did it. You understand where I'm coming from, or do you think I'm being irrational?
He comes to me trying to talk to me about communication, about what we need to achieve.
It's you that's wasting everyone's time because you're doing things that aren't part of the original plan. Remember, we were getting judged on what our plan was, using
Sean,
the community.
I feel like you're wasting time right now.
What, trying to communicate and asking you a pertinent question.
What is the pertinent question you want to ask us there, so I'll answer it so we can get back to the job.
Okay, why didn't you communicate?
Communicate what?
It's not that I'm not good at confrontation. I actually believe in confrontation because whenever we come together with 2 different views, that's the best time any of us are going to get a chance to learn. Now, can we close this and get on to work?
Yes, we can close
All right, lovely.
Lebo does some last-minute shopping and collections for toys, DVDs, and a DVD player.
These are your calls.
Thank you.
This will be used with the plasma TV that has just arrived at the library. Beautiful Italian furniture also arrives in perfect time.
And what was the value of the stuff that you bought?
30,880 rands.
It's incredible, yeah?
Graham's last task is to pick up the couches that Lebo organized earlier.
A 3-seat and a 2-seat full leather lounge suite for a total of 2,000 rand, reduced from 20,000. That's what I call negotiation skills.
The Orange team are ready, and with the remaining budget, Macy pays the casual workers 300 rands each, 6 times what they would normally make for half a day. Time is up and the judges arrive for inspections.
Kunjani, Mama.
Hi, Mama.
Fine, right.
Lekker, welcome to the Tusong Healthy Living Garden.
Thanks.
Ezra was not pleased with the Green Team's initial idea of the living garden, but the Green Team stuck to their plan. Was this a good decision?
Okay, awesome. So welcome to the Healthy Living Gardens. Because in Alex there isn't much space, we've come up with a way where you use old tires, you fill it with compost, and you can actually get a lot out of that. You can get 3 or 4 vegetables out of that. You can also walk past each stand, you can see there's like a little explanation as to what's what. And it's very informative. The other way to use space is we made a vertical garden against the wall. So you get the morning sun that comes in and then it takes that morning sun. And then on this side, which is our pride and joy, which we've all got our hands dirty with, I'd like to welcome you all inside. Kunjani to the chicken coop. Lekker. You don't step on them. So basically, we provided them with food.
Very good. I mean, it's most
From
of the
what
kids
it was before these guys.
the whole
came here.
center, I'm telling you. This side,
Is it different?
I used to shout with Jabu every day. Say, Jabu, I'm going to change your word of truth because you don't keep the place clean.
Really, when they came on site, we were convinced that they were wowed by our strategy.
Hi, Ezra. Okay.
Ash.
From a dull, lifeless library, the Orange team has created a colorful, warm, and informative library, sure to make all visitors feel very welcome.
I was emotional when she arrived.
When she came in, she looked so nice and she was happy. And I just said, oh God, as long as we put that smile on her face, you know?
Come in, Ma. Have they transformed it, Mama?
Definitely.
How does it look like?
It looks so nice. I haven't got words to say thanks because this has been my dream, but because I didn't have funds to do anything.
Okay, what is the long-term strategy? Tell us what that is. What do you want to do?
Okay, firstly, we've got a Facebook page.
What it's got is obviously an info page where a wannabe funder or donor can go and learn as much as they like. Then throughout the page, you've got documentary clips which were made in collaboration with the filmmakers here yesterday, especially for the Facebook page, which profile different prominent individuals who either associated with Tusong or historically came out of Tusong and developed their talents here.
This is the children's haven. We've created this room to give it like the warmth of home, you know?
What is the value of all of these?
The total...
I think it's about 100,000.
Almost 100,000.
I'd like to say thanks to everybody who came here and make my dream come true.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mama. Enjoy your place of healing.
I think even one day I'll have to come and sleep here.
It's time for the review. But what will the judges be looking for? Did the team successfully achieve their objectives? What individual showed true leadership and what individual didn't feature at all? Was everyone a team player? The judges all need to agree and make a swift and decisive judgment.
I just thought that, you know, there were two different teams, kind of in color, as well as in action and plan. The one team just had a plan, stuck to its plan, and really made a visible kind of change. You could see the change, you know, and the other team just was going along, really, to get this done.
Were there specific individuals that stood out in the green team?
Sean was directing the show, and the rest of the team was not behind him.
Abongile, I'm disappointed from being a blue chip to this kind of performance. And of course, Mfundo, who doesn't seem to be here. You know, I get the sense that he's preoccupied with other stuff other than being here.
How did Macy stack up to the rest of the team?
Amazingly, Macy had turned around, eh? She turned the corner. She was absolutely supportive. She managed to raise some funds. She engaged the different resources. She was part of a team. It was such a pleasure to see that. If you remember, when we gave you the challenge, we gave you 4 criteria on which we will evaluate you. And that was working with the community organization to identify a need, to develop a plan to meet that need, to use local skills and talent to meet that need in order for you to leave a legacy, capacitating local people, and finally, to mobilize resources to meet the need. There was one team, of course, that did this and did this well. A team that had a solid plan, stuck to the plan, really delegated a responsibility to ensure that you meet the challenge. And that team is the orange team. Congratulations to you guys. I expect of you that when you approach a team challenge, that you work the way that you did. Graham, your leadership is absolutely inspiring. Well done on showcasing the best and really being able to coach and to lead the guys to develop and to show their strengths, their entrepreneurial strength. Macy, it was a pleasure to see you turn around. It was a pleasure to see you contribute positively towards the success of your team. The green team, it sounded like it was a one-man show, and that man was Sean. You know, you have a right of challenging the leader or the person that seems to have the expertise. I didn't see that. For the second time in a row, blue chip is Lebohang. Lebohang, congratulations. You're a blue chip for digging into your and leveraging your networks, Lebohang, for raising up more than just you know, what we had requested of you. You played a significant role in making sure that you transformed that need in Kusong, and we could see visible change from the before and after. Well done for that.
Thank you.
You may open up and see what's in the briefcase for you.
Yeah.
It's a bow tie. What this means, Lebohang, is you can take your entire team on a night out. Congratulations. After the break, I'll announce the 2 people that are up for review. And as we committed last time, one of them would have to go home. And the 2 people up for review are Abongile. Please come forward. I expected a lot from you, Abongile. In this game, you disappointed me. You have to step up to the plate and show that you have what it takes to win the 5 million rands investment. You did not convince me this time. Next person is Mfundo Tango. Mfundo, it's almost like expecting a tiramisu for dessert and serving a cupcake. I expected a lot more from you, and you did not deliver. Again, I'm seeing you for review. You now have each 30 seconds to convince me as to why you are not fit to leave the show. Starting with you, Abongile, now.
Thank you, Ezra. and the board. I spent much of my time focusing the team on the plan. I also spent a lot of my time ensuring that we're executing on what was intended to be done. I spent a lot of my energy trying to focus the team on what our goal was. And most of the time, even moving us from spot to say where are we supposed to be and what the goal was. And I believe we achieved the results we achieved because I tried to focus the energies of the team on what the task was. Thank you.
Thank you. Fundo, you've got 30 seconds, starting from now.
I think the intervention that I had in this task was more of creating sustainability for the center, and I believe that I was much visible, and also my commitment actually speaks volume apart from what was viewed by the board on the screen right now. But people on site, I think they can attest to my intervention to ensure that we successfully execute this task to the best of our ability.
Thank you. Let's consult. As you know, gentlemen, one of you remains with us and the other is leaving home. Abongile, you will be with us next week. Fundo, it's been a pleasure having you on the journey. You're not catching your big break this time.
You look like a man who expected to get eliminated. Is this the case?
Frankly, I saw it coming, and I believe that you'll never be lucky twice. So, really, to me, it was not a matter of thinking twice about it. I knew it was coming.
What's been the single most highlight of your time on the Big Break Legacy?
I think making friendship and also learning through the process of whatever task we've been executing as teams.
Abongile? So, Mr. Makwazima, you just made it. Do you feel that Ezra and the board have been fair in their assessments?
At every single critical intervention that we had in our team that actually made sure we pulled through the task, that took a lot from me. So I was very surprised. And I'm feeling a little upset, if you don't mind.
I can see that.
Okay.
And you're allowed to. But what is the lesson that you've learned from all of this? Because...
I can't tell you. Because at the end of the day, I had a team that was pulling in all sorts of different directions. I had a team that had a goal that wasn't clear on it. And yet, every last decision I asked our team to take a look at was later vindicated along the way.
Yay! For the second time.
Yeah. Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah. Well done. Cheers. All right. And well done, Abongile, for staying in the game.
Cheers.
Yes, absolutely.